This episode of Buy or Skip is gonna be so exciting. We have a new collection by Catrice, we have a new collection by Kiko. Their summer collection is upon us. We have some sneak peeks. This is like one of the most exciting weeks to me of the year. Let's get into it. Okay, let's start out with the Catrice Desert Dune collection. This is their new summer collection. They haven't announced it anywhere. I just saw it pop up at Boozy Shop. All of a sudden it was there and I was very shocked. I was not expecting a Catrice collection this week, but I ordered basically everything. The video is already up if you want to see it. I posted that video on Friday. I will link it in this video as well. So this collection is very like desert dunes sand inspired. We have two bronzers in this collection. I bought the lightest bronzer and I'm wearing it again today. This is such a beautiful bronzer formula. It's like a putty bronzer. It's supposed to be a matte cream bronzer. I would say it's a putty kind of like skin-like formula. It looks very skin-like. It blurs, looks very smooth. This shade I feel like is really nice for me, so I used it again. Really happy with it. The packaging of this really makes me think of the Kiko Gold Reflections collection that they did last summer. I don't feel like it's like a dupe because like sand, dunes and gold, it's a pretty standard summer collection packaging, but it did make me think a little bit of that. Then we also have three liquid eyeshadows. I did a look with those, really enjoyed them. They are not anything super special. They are on the pretty basic side, but there's something to the look that you can get with them that I do enjoy. It's kind of like that one and done, super easy, simple outdoor kind of look that I feel like does really fit the summertime, so I quite enjoyed it. And then we also have two cream blushes, two shimmery cream blushes, one in the shade Burnt Sienna that looks kind of like it would be a cool tone brown, like a sienna brown, but it actually blends out to be quite a purple berry shade. It's way more cool toned than you would think from the product shots, so I'm happy that I got that to swatch that so that I could actually show you that it's not exactly what you would think. Then we also have the shade Desert Rose, which is a very warm rose, really beautiful. It's my favorite of the two so far. And then we also have a hair clip in this collection. I didn't actually buy the hair clip because those kinds of hair clips, like there's not really a place for them in my hair. If I put my hair back like this, I never think that looks good. I always feel like that looks kind of silly on me, so I never really do that. So I don't really put in a clip at the back of my head. If I clip my hair, I put it all up, or I might do a little bit of a clip right there, but that clip wasn't really for me, so I skipped that one. By the way, if you want to know how I got this look, like what this look is, I did use one of the Cryptine Cosmetics Secret Garden eyeshadow palettes, and I did film a tutorial. It will be up on my Instagram, I think sometime next week. I'm gonna try and post it pretty quickly. I try and film my looks a little bit more. Like I'm trying to be better at that. Okay, I think this was the first thing that was announced right after my video. And I was kind of intrigued. I gotta say, I was kind of intrigued by this one. This is the Lancôme and Sheika Daley Idôle Café Crush Maxi palette. And there was something about this when I first saw it. I actually thought, that looks pretty cute. I think the colors are pretty cute. They did really get into that coffee theme. We have the kind of like swirls on the packaging. Like there was something pretty cute about this, but then I got this thinking a little bit more and I did realize that I think this is extra cute because it's Lancôme and I'm not really used to liking things from them. So I'm kind of like, oh, great job Lancôme, but it doesn't mean that I have to buy it. It doesn't mean that it has to be for me. Like I can appreciate that they're stepping it up a little bit without feeling like I need this in my life. I feel like I have other palettes that have this type of color story that I like more. I already own them, so I don't really feel like I need this, but I did think they did a pretty good job with this one. So this one is an eyeshadow palette with 12 eyeshadows with matte and glittery finishes. Experience the perfect blend of nude shades, a rich coffee inspired palette. It says coming soon and I don't see a price here, but yeah, it looks pretty cute. Then we have a sneak peek of the Glamlite and Lord of the Rings collab that they are gonna be doing. Lord of the Rings is my favorite movie of all time. It's the movie that I always watch with my family, with my sister. And when I was a kid, when the movie was still a little bit like scary for me, I could only watch the parts where the trees are like talking when they are deciding on the fate of the hobbits. And it is like no offense to the Lord of the Rings, you know I love it. It's like the most boring part of the movies. I was allowed to watch that, and it took some time until I could watch the whole movie, and then that was such like a big moment in my life, and now I've watched them many times. It's been a while though, but I am playing a Lord of the Rings video game now, and that is also pretty nostalgic to me. I just love Lord of the Rings. I don't know if I'm gonna like this, if I'm gonna enjoy this, if I'm gonna be like super excited by this, or if I'm gonna kind of like hate it because I don't feel like it fits the movies enough. So we're gonna see what this is gonna be. In a way, I'm kind of excited that something so close to me is getting a collab. In another way, I feel like if something is so close to you, so close to your heart, then it's not easy to get it right, to get the vibe right that you're getting from it. So we're gonna wait and see. I don't know. Then we have this new matte liquid blush from Up Beauty. They have come out with this in BoxyCharm and Ipsy, like in the subscription boxes. I've never had any of those. I don't know if I could actually in the Netherlands. I don't really know a lot about it, but this is a lightweight liquid formula that blends and builds like a dream. It has a sponge applicator for smooth, even application. It is infused with rosehip oil, rich in vitamins E, C, E, and K. It has niacinamide, hyaluronic acid, green tea extract, and vitamin E. The color of this looks really cute. It looks like a nice rosy shade. I don't think I would make an order from the website just to get this, and I feel like this would probably not come to monolith, but it does look really cute, so I did want to mention it. Then we have the new Agate Temptation eyeshadow palette by Singe Beauty. I wasn't expecting to get another Singe Beauty eyeshadow palette for a while. I thought we were getting into lip liners. I thought we were getting into some different types of products. I know she said she's working on many different things. So of course sometimes something is gonna be ready earlier than other things. Also, she already has like this style of packaging. She already has her formulas down, the lab for the formulas for the eyeshadows. I was for a second almost convinced to buy this when I first saw this, but when I took a closer look, I did realize that a lot of these shades I wouldn't really love, that wouldn't really be for me. Like, I see some colors here that I would use, and we do have some like neutral tones that I could dip into, but I think the color story as a whole isn't really my thing, and I'd rather wait for something that is more up my alley. I feel like the Galactic Visitor palette is a little bit more up my alley. I feel like there were a lot of nice pastel tones in that, and there were a lot of nice cool tones in that. And this feels overall a little bit more warm. I feel like the shades Metamorphic and Dendritic are pulling it a little bit more to a direction where I like it. But I feel like the bright red and that orangey brown are kind of like throwing it off for me. And I have a lot of palettes. I have a lot of palettes that I've already reviewed. I have a lot of palettes still to review. So I think I'm gonna skip on this one. But it looks really beautiful. Let me know if you're gonna be picking this up. Then we have a new collab with Pat McGrath and Genshin Impact 5.6. I have no idea what this is or what this is supposed to be. I cannot really say anything about this. Like, does this make any sense? It should already be available. We have 2 boxes, which seem kind of like a collection of Charlotte Tilbury like hero products. So it's not really anything new to the line. I don't feel like the packaging of the actual products is very different from what we normally see. It might be almost the same. And then, okay, we have the bags and the boxes that do look like they fit the collab, but I cannot really say much about this. I cannot really make a judgment on this. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I cannot say much. Then we have a new product by Makeup Revolution. We have multiple new products by Makeup Revolution. This is a Jelly Bronze Bronzer Stick, and this is a bronzer version of their jelly blushes that they copied from Milk Makeup. And we have 3 shades. We have a light shade, which is Sunkissed. We have a medium shade, which is Sunset. And then we have a dark shade, which is Cacao. These all look pretty warm toned. I never really was interested in those jelly blushes because I didn't feel like that stain effect on the cheeks is my style for makeup. I like a blush that is a little bit more thick, a little bit more pigmented, that kind of like smooths over the skin, and I feel like a stain doesn't really do that, doesn't really have the ability to do that, and I kind of feel like that would be the same thing with these bronzers. I do like that Makeup Revolution went kind of like a step further, took it even further, made a bronzer of this formula. Then we have a new Iconic London Glow All Over Melting Balm Stick. This says, as easy as swipe and glow, our latest icon is a true holiday hero that gives skin a sun-kissed sheen and beautiful bronze glow instantly. Designed for body and face, it is packed with a blend of skin-loving ingredients to nourish and smooth skin. Non-greasy, non-sticky, available now $30. So it kind of seems like it's a kind of like shimmery bronze, almost like those bronzer drops, but in a stick that you can use on the face and the body. I kind of like the idea of that. I do know that I don't really use those types of products enough to warrant buying this, but I think this would be maybe a little bit easier on the go to kind of like reapply after you took a swim or anything like that. So I do think this makes sense. Then we have a new lip frame liner by Dominque Cosmetics. It comes in 9 different shades. It has jojoba oil and hyaluronic acid. It is already available. We see some pretty interesting shades here. One of these shades looks kind of like it could be a mustard shade. I'm not super interested in Dominque Cosmetics, but I also don't have anything against the brand. I've never tried anything. I do feel like before they maybe had a little bit more hype, but it could also be that they have more hype on YouTube and now they have hype somewhere else. Like what's hyped on YouTube isn't always the same as what is hyped on Instagram or on TikTok. So I might just not know. I'm not really interested in this brand. I'm not really interested to buy this, so I'm gonna be skipping on that. I also don't see how much these are gonna be. Okay, I just fixed my gloss a little bit because that was going everywhere, and it isn't the fault of the gloss or the lip products. Always when I'm doing these videos, things just start running all over my face. So we have a shade extension of the Cooling Water Jelly Lip Tint and Cheek Blush Stain. So we have another shade, and this is the pH Adaptive Pink. You know how I feel about pH Adaptive. I don't really want more of them. I have enough of them. I don't absolutely love them. I don't feel like they are really necessary for me. I'd rather have something where I immediately know what the color is gonna be and like what's it gonna look like on me. So I'm guessing this trend is still going on. I'm guessing people are still buying pH Adaptive products, but I don't really need this. And also I already told you I don't really like this kind of like stain type of product. Then we have new lip products by Charlotte Tilbury. We have like duo lip pencils, and then we have another shade of her Plumping lip gloss. I have heard that those Plumping lip glosses are very painful. The lip liners look kind of cute, but at this point I have so many good lip liners that I don't really feel like I have to buy any from more expensive brands. It's just the type of thing where I know that I can go to the drugstore and get something really amazing. So even though like the lighter shade looks really cute, I don't really feel like I really need this in my life. The duo lip liners are $26 and the Plumping lip gloss is $35. Yeah, I think I can pretty easily skip on that. Then we have some new shades of the Gloss Bomb Eyes by Fenty Beauty. These have a cooling effect, juicy wet look finish, and a minty scent. These are $26 each. We have ice pineapple, berry jelly, melon chills, and cucumber. That's a funny name, but if somebody would ask me what do you have on my lips and I would have to say that, I would just show them the packaging. I wouldn't want to say that again. Like once was enough. These look pretty cute. I like them. I like the vibe of them for the summer, but I don't think I am gonna buy any of these. I don't really like a minty sensation on the lips. I think I'd rather have, personally, a burning plumping sensation than a very minty sensation. I just feel like the mint dries out my lips and I don't really want that. I already have kind of dry lips. Then we have a new collection, a kind of like smaller capsule collection from Glam Shop, and this is the new Mocha Mousse collection. So after the color of the year, we have an eyeshadow palette. We have a 9-pan eyeshadow palette, a 2-in-1 shimmer eyeliner and cream eyeshadow, and a radiant face elixir with a peachy glow. This looks pretty cute. This looks okay. I feel like Glam Shop could kind of work on their product photography. Usually their products just don't look super appealing on their Instagram, like the photos they take. And then like the past year I've bought a few of their palettes and they actually look really good in real life, but I don't really feel like it comes across on this photo. So this looks okay. I'm sure it's gonna be better in real life, but it doesn't really convince me. I feel like I have these colors already from Glam Shop. I don't really feel like I need them in a 9-pan. The rest of it looks cute, but I don't really think I need to pick that up. I just feel like this is a smaller version of the, what's the palette called? The kind of like cool tone neutral palette that I tried, I think in December. I really enjoyed that palette and I think having that palette is enough for me. Then we have a new release, a new lip release from Up Beauty. This is a soft matte mousse liquid lipstick. It's weightless, buildable, and it's customizable in intensity. Soft matte blurred finish for a soft focus effect. Infused with nourishing ingredients to help smooth lips. So I kind of feel with these products, you don't always know what you're gonna get. And sometimes I love them and sometimes I think they're okay. Sometimes I really hate them. I cannot really say that I always love these types of products, but of course that's also the fact with like gloss in a stick or things like that. So, but there's just this type of like soft matte lip product that is more sheer but not buildable enough for me, that I just don't like on myself. I feel like those don't look smooth enough, and I think I don't want to really risk it unless I hear someone say like this is the best thing, like the best lip product I've ever tried. I might get curious, but that kind of goes for basically every lip product or every makeup product. Like if people start telling me this is the best thing ever, I might actually get curious. I might actually pick it up, but I haven't heard anyone about this just yet. And then we have the new Lip Shift ink from Makeup Revolution, and this is a lip stain lip liner with a more pointy felt tip where you can apply the lip stain. I just don't really love a lip stain. These are gonna be £6.99, $10, or €6.99. We have 3 long-lasting shades. So yeah, not for me, but I think it's smart if these stain lip products are working for them to hop on the train and just come out with a bunch of different options, because I have seen that people really like using lip stains as lip liner. It is a trend. Then we have some new lip balms. These are the Super Goop Glow Gloss SPF 40. I really like that we're seeing more SPF in lip products, but I'm always a little bit like scared, and I'm always a bit like, I don't know, because sometimes you can really taste the SPF in lip products and sometimes it tastes really bitter and not nice at all. I don't know if I want to pay $22 to take that risk to find out. I don't know if I want to risk it. Like, these look cute. They have a little bit of a tint to them. They have a little bit of a gloss to them. But I don't know if I want to risk it. I did buy a SPF lip balm for the summer that just came in that I also want to test out. Because if I just have a plain old lip balm, then I can also put other things on top. Then it's just kind of like a primer for my lips and I put something else on. It's also not like I'm outside all day every day. Like, I go outside every day, but I mean, I'm not working outside. I'm not sitting outside for hours. So I kind of feel like a lip balm is enough, but we're gonna see if that one is bitter, but that one was pretty affordable. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that I don't want to risk it with these more expensive products. But if somebody would actually pay attention to it and tell me it doesn't taste like SPF, who knows? Who knows? Then we have the new updated version of the Bella Beauty Bar Smoky Glam palette. So Bella Beauty Bar is a brand that I have been interested in and that I think looks really good. They are available at Monolith as well. And I have been very close to buying from them a couple of times, but I haven't done it so far. This palette I feel like is so much better than the original one. I feel like the original palettes, the original Smoky Glam and the original Pastel Garden, are just very big palettes with a lot of shades that kind of feel like repeat shades, and I feel like here we don't really have that anymore. It feels more concise. It feels more like every shade has a place in the palette. This is gonna be a palette with 20 pans. It has 5 new multichrome shimmers, and the original palette only had 1, and it has 4 existing duochrome shimmers that have been improved, and then 11 existing curated mattes. This is launching May 5th. If I pick this up, it's gonna be at Monolith. It's not gonna be directly from the website. I am intrigued. These are the shades that I love to wear. I love rosy tones, I love pinky tones. I love combining pinky tones with grays, but not like stark grays, kind of like, it can be a softer gray. I think I would definitely enjoy this palette. And I like it more than the Morally Grey eyeshadow palette. I believe it was also from them. I'm definitely intrigued. It's definitely gonna be a more expensive palette. It's gonna be more expensive at Monolith. I I'm gonna think about it. Let me know if you want to see anything with this palette, if you'd like to see me try this palette, if you're excited about this palette. I am in a way not super inspired. Like, I'm not like, oh, I can't wait to combine this and this, but at the same time I can totally see myself dipping into this over and over and over again. So it would almost be more of a practical palette. I just know that I love these shades. So it doesn't feel like new and exciting in a way, but it does feel like something I could enjoy, if you know what I mean. Alright, let me check if there is more that I want to talk about before I go and talk about the summer collection by Kiko. So excited for that. I also heard that Wycon Cosmetics is having their summer collection somewhere this week, but I don't have any other information about that. But I did hear that from one of you guys who messaged me on Instagram. Thanks so much for that. Like, everybody who gives me tips on Instagram, I love you so much. I just get so happy when you send me scoops and sneak peeks on Instagram that I haven't seen yet. I am so grateful when you guys do that. Please, if you know anything, please do send it to me, because it's so nice to be able to plan ahead a little bit and know when things are coming. But it's not always easy to stay on top of everything, because sometimes things are really hidden far away in a far corner of the internet. Okay, so the Kiko summer collection is called Juicy Fizz. I do not know the prices, I do not know all of the products just yet, but we have a clip that you can find on the Kiko website, and we do have some photos there. I will play a clip for you and we'll show you some photos. We don't have any listings just yet, as I said, and I don't know when this is gonna be available. There is no launch date. Usually when there's already some info on the website by Kiko, it doesn't take long for it to actually become available. So we're gonna see when this is actually gonna be available. I can tell you that I'm gonna be doing a video with this. We have baked bronzers. I'm seeing some baked blushes. I'm seeing some limited edition shades of 3D Hydra Gloss. I am seeing some lipsticks, lip liners. There is so much here. I actually think this is gonna be a pretty big video for me. I actually think I'm gonna try quite a few items. There's also gonna be a skin tint SPF 50. There's gonna be a summer-proof powder foundation SPF 50, fiber eye marker, summerproof eyeliner. You can just type in Kiko Juicy Fizz in Google and you will find some things, you will find some photos, you will find a video if you want to look at this for yourself, but there's not much else to find. This is looking really good. I'm really liking the vibe. I'm really liking the kind of like golden citrus packaging. It's really like summery. It's kind of like plasticky, but in a way I like that kind of like see-through plastic vibe. It just makes me think of those jelly shoes that I used to have as a kid, and it's kind of like nostalgic to me. I think this is a very cute looking collection so far. I'm very excited about it. It kind of makes me think of that fruit collection that they did a couple of years ago, the Fruit Explosion collection, but then the more elevated version of it. It still isn't like their most luxurious collection, but it does have the citrus vibes, but a little bit more like in a grown-up way, a little bit more elevated, a little less like bright colors, super plasticky, cheap looking packaging, even though I could also appreciate that in a way. I really think I'm gonna be buying a bunch of things, and I'm gonna try and get the video on this up as soon as possible, as soon as I get it in my hands. I always try to be really quick with these Kiko videos. Like, if I can, I put them up the day off. And yeah, I'm just very excited about this. I wish I had more details to talk about, but we'll talk about that next time, probably next buy or skip video. And I have a feeling that probably this week we will see this collection in store. Alright, so this is gonna be it for this video. We're really getting into the summer collections. We're really getting into the summer vibes. I'm gonna be buying the new Kiko collection. I already bought the new Catrice collection. Besides that, I think I'm gonna chill a little bit and not buy too many things, but I think there's already enough happening. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to like the video, and then I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.